Welcome back to the Overdose Composable Commerce Summit for APAC. My name is Raven and I'm the Partnerships and Brand Lead for Overdose in APAC. It's my honor to be your event host for today and your MC. Shifting into the next part of the tech stack. Again, I think of this section as putting in the carpet to your freshly built house. You'll notice the difference if you do it, especially if you do it well. Marketing automation. Right now, I would like to please introduce Klaviyo. So these guys, they help with growth-focused e-commerce brands. It's about driving more sales with super targeted, highly relevant email, Facebook, and Instagram marketing campaigns. Unlike other email or marketing automation solutions, Klaviyo, these guys are really good at getting data out of your e-commerce platform, whether that's Shopify, Magento, a custom implementation, or something else. They essentially let you combine that data with website behavior and information from other marketing tools. Then they use it to personalize, analyze, and optimize your marketing. Here with the quality info today is Navin, the Strategic Account Executive for SMS at Klaviyo. He's going to showcase how you can future-proof your business with omnichannel strategies. Please join me in welcoming Navin from Klaviyo.
Thank you, Raven. It's very difficult to follow that video. So many inspirational things I saw there. I might steal that to hype myself up every morning, so I appreciate that. Nice to meet everyone virtually. My name's Navin. I'm with Klaviyo. I've been with Klaviyo for 4+ years now. Really excited to be a part of this. Thank you to the Overdose team. Phenomenal work. Love our partnership, and really excited to talk about how businesses can, like Raven said, really future-proof your business by leveraging an omni-channel strategy. That's the most important thing that we like to talk about. So let's get started. Today, why does Klaviyo exist? It's because brands lack ownership of their data, budget, and relationships. What do we mean by that? Paid social is a black box. You don't know who purchased your products, how customers interacted with your brand, how often they visit, what they do when you're on your site. It's really hard to know what they're doing. In terms of budget, we all know the costs and how they continue to increase leveraging those third-party marketplaces. A stat that I saw, it was 43 cents. Acquisition rates, were 43 cents in 2018. They're at 97 cents in 2021. And I think we can all agree those continue to grow. And this is something that is difficult to budget for as brands continue to grow. And the most important part is relationships. It's unpredictable. Brands are at the mercy of the marketplace algorithm. When privacy changes take place and price hikes happen, you may not be given a notice. I've heard too many times brands that I've worked with. I have friends that run marketing for different brands tell me that they were shut down for reasons they don't know, or many different things, and that's just problematic. So you want to be able to own your data, make sure you're able to budget, and most importantly, build relationships that you can continue to foster. Some of the reasons why it's difficult today, the technologies that are out there don't really allow for deep personalization at scale. There are thousands of platforms out there, solutions, vendors, whatever we want to call them. Some of them are very complex, cost a lot of money, difficult to get set up. There are many different things. Months of implementation, and I don't think anyone has the time to spend months just trying to get something launched. Some of the other reasons why those other solutions don't work, they're not giving you full access to the data that you have and that you're collecting on your subscribers. The most important thing that you can do is ask information of your subscribers to make sure that you're connecting with them in a more meaningful manner. Being able to ask as many questions and collect as much information, no matter what site you're leveraging, is really important. That's what Klaviyo can absolutely do. So this is a slide that when I look at it, I think there's so much going on. Like, how do you pay attention? It's true. There is a lot going on. Point solutions and independent channel strategies are honestly setting you up to fail. What happens here is when you're trying to leverage data from different sources, you don't know, you can't connect your subscribers. You may have someone that buys from your site because they clicked on an email. You may be sending an SMS through another solution. You may be leveraging push or reviews, all of these different things. And if they're all coming into different platforms, you're not going to be able to really understand and have a full view of your subscriber. With Klaviyo, our goal is that you can build that omni-channel solution so that you can consolidate all of this information into one platform and use that to better target and connect with your subscribers. Today's shoppers, we all know this, want to choose how they interact with brands. This is something that I think is so important. There are so many different channels that subscribers can use today: email, SMS, social, push. I'm not here to tell you which channel is best. I'm here to tell you, let your subscribers give you that answer. Ask them, how do you want us to communicate with you? Take it a step further. Ask them how often you want them to communicate with you. This is something that I don't think brands are doing enough of. And this is the reason, this is how you can really set yourself apart from the thousands of other brands that might be selling something similar to you. I personally love when someone asks me, would you rather hear from us through email or through SMS? If it's SMS, for example, they're asking me, how often do I want to hear from them? That is huge. I absolutely love that, because I don't want to be bombarded with messages. And more importantly, and something that I think is very vital, I don't want the same content for email and SMS at the exact same time. So you want to make sure that you're asking what channel your subscribers want to hear from you and then using that. The other thing is, there are so many different types of content that you can share. Some of the topics include offers, support, entertainment. I like to say lifestyle content is one of the most powerful ways to stay in front of your subscribers. I've worked with thousands of companies in the last 4 years at Klaviyo. Some of those that are seeing the best success are ones that are using these different channels to not send promotional content, but they're instead sending content that's relevant to them. For example, I was working with a fitness brand, and I think it was 3 weeks after the order was fulfilled, they actually would send out a text message. Yeah, they spent the money on a text message, and SMS marketing is more expensive than email, but they thought it was important. They sent a text out giving exercise guides to all of their customers. They also allowed their customers to ask any questions, which was a way for them to really connect and build a community. Later, what they did was they saw anyone who engaged with that exercise guide and targeted them with a new additional piece of equipment that they were selling. That was phenomenal. It's not something that you typically think of. Most of the time when brands tell me that they're thinking about SMS marketing, they're telling me, we're going to leverage promotions, we're going to send out coupons, which is completely fine. But when you're leveraging it for other types of content, that's what's going to make you most successful. And the reason why I bring this up for the omni-channel piece is that type of content is really powerful coming through SMS. For emails, it's really good to ask them to give you a review, because that way they can save that email and go back to it at a later time. Maybe you want to build a loyalty program or a referral program, leveraging email, which can easily be forwarded. That's something that's really powerful. So this is why the omni-channel solution is so important for brands. They want, and this is, I'll speak on my own behalf, I want people to tell me what I need. I love the recommendations that are sent to me. Sometimes it's a little scary how much brands know, but I'm okay with it. It makes my life easier. So when they can recommend products to me, leveraging all the different tools that are out there, that's huge, and that's really valuable. And then timing. This is something that I think is so important. The difference between email and SMS, and I'm going to get into this a little bit later on, but you want to make sure that you're leveraging the right channel to send the right message at the right time. There are certain things that, if I get an email about a promotion that's coming up in 2 weeks, that's great. However, if I signed up to hear about an item that was out of stock, and then you send me an email and I go back and try to buy it, but your brand is crushing it and that item went back out of stock, I'm probably going to be turned away. This happened to me recently. I was trying to buy a pair of jeans. The item went out of stock, signed up. I got an email, went back to buy, and it was gone. I would have loved to hear from that brand through text, so I could have bought it right away. This is why timing is so important as well, and something that your subscribers are going to tell you. More and more people want to interact via text message marketing. I share this because I know that there are so many brands that are out there that are questioning, is SMS right for me? What I will safely tell you is there is no brand in the world that should not at least try SMS marketing. There is at least one person that would prefer to hear from you via text. 75% of consumers, and these are different studies that our team has done and that you'll find published online, 75% of consumers say they're open to receiving text from brands that they care about. This is really, really valuable information because if you can connect with these subscribers on the channel they want to hear from you, they're much more likely to convert. And even more importantly, they're much more likely to stay with you and build the brand affinity that you're looking for. Some massive stats, but 3.5 billion people in the world communicate via text. And if anyone is, I still don't know who's past 3 minutes. When I get a text message, I look at it right away. But within 3 minutes, 90% of text are said to be read. And for those individuals that are focused on engagement, SMS marketing has an 8x click-through rate compared to email. And something that I want to call out, if you're not doing SMS marketing today and adding it to your email marketing programs along with social and push, your competitors are. In fact, 61% of marketers share that they increased their text budgets in 2020. So if your competitors are doing it and your competitors are getting in front of your subscribers through this channel, you want to make sure that you do that as well. So the question I always get asked is like, why are brands not doing this today? Like, what's stopping them? There's a couple main reasons, main themes as to why they're not doing this yet. Some of those include fear of litigation. We have all heard the horror stories of the different fines that are out there in the US. TCPA dictates that you can be fined up to $1,500 per message sent to the wrong person. So think about it. If you send a text message to 10 people who didn't consent, that's $15,000. That's a lot of money. So fear of litigation is absolutely something that's holding customers back from leveraging this really important channel. Another problem is people don't have unlimited time. There are so many tools that we're using today. There are so many different channels that we're looking to leverage. It's impossible to, or we think it's impossible to be able to leverage this new channel if we're not doing it today. There's conflicting data, what works and what doesn't work. Some people may tell me to send a message to my entire list 5 times within the first week of someone signing up. Others will tell me to start collecting immediately and then only send campaign messages. Others will tell me to add SMS to an abandoned cart flow or a welcome flow. So there's a lot of conflicting data on what works and what doesn't work. And I think the number one reason why people haven't leveraged SMS marketing is because they're not sure where to start. There are so many different ways that you can really launch SMS. You get overwhelmed. And what I want to recommend and what I want to tell everyone is it's actually really simple. You can very easily start collecting consent, leveraging sign-up forms on your website, leveraging consent at checkout. You could leverage text to join keywords in certain regions of the world. So there are many different ways that you can do this. And the only thing that I really recommend is just to turn on a welcome flow. When someone signs up for your SMS marketing program, let them know that you heard from them and who you are, how often you're going to message them. If you told them that they're going to get an incentive to sign up, give them that incentive right away. So that's really the only thing you need to do. It's that simple. Start collecting SMS subscribers today and turn on a welcome flow. I'm from Klaviyo. If you have never heard of Klaviyo, let us know. I'll make sure our marketing team does a better job. But we started focusing on email. Klaviyo, where we have about 120,000 brands leveraging us today for email. It's because email is still the #1 channel. I like to say that email is that cricket that just will never die. 81% of online shoppers in a recent study said they prefer to receive most brand communications via email. I think that that's true. I think about this from my own perspective. I cannot tell you how many brands I have signed up for in the last, well, forever, but since I've been working at Klaviyo. I mean, I think Gmail is probably going to kick me off because my promotions tab is getting so filled, but I sign up for almost every brand site I'm on. I don't give my phone number to every brand because that's reserved for the brands that I really feel connected to. But email is something I'm very willing to hear from. So it is still the #1 channel. Average ROI is about 122%. And this is a stat that I really love. Shoppers spend 138% more when marketed to through email compared to those who don't receive an email offer. The numbers are backing this up. You want to still continue to leverage email in a meaningful manner. And for those brands that have average order values between $100 and $500, be sure that you can actually recover 4 to 5% of your abandoned carts through email. That's huge. So depending on the website traffic that you have, this can add up to thousands and thousands of dollars for your business. So this is why I like to say, again, I know that as Raven said, I focus on SMS. Email is still the #1 channel. And my main goal is to help brands leverage both of these channels together. This is actually a really interesting stat. A lot of brands decide to invest a ton in paid media, and instead of using, and they then leverage the cheapest plan for email. It makes no sense. Email marketing is absolutely the most profitable digital marketing channel you'll have. So you want to continue to invest in this in a meaningful manner. So again, as I've said a couple different times, the omni-channel strategy is what is the most important. SMS and email are just better together. Too many times I've spoken to brands and they're focused on, oh, I can do this with SMS instead of this with email. And they're almost making them compete. I don't like to tell people that they're wrong, but that's not the right strategy. SMS and email are better together. It allows you to drive more revenue through saving additional carts. It also allows you to start more conversations. It absolutely allows you smarter targeting and segmentation. What I like to say, and I stole this from a team member that I work with, sometimes the best text message is the one you don't have to send. What I mean by that is if someone is engaging with your email content, why waste a text message on them? There was a brand that Klaviyo works with, Control Freak. They were using a separate SMS provider and using Klaviyo for email. And what was happening was when someone abandoned their cart, that person would get a couple text messages through the other provider, and they would be in an email flow through Klaviyo, receiving emails about abandoning their cart. The systems weren't talking, so people were getting email and text message around the same time with the exact same content. Control Freak, in their Klaviyo account, when they migrated SMS into Klaviyo, decided, you know what, let's get smart. We're going to add what we call a conditional split that basically says if someone has opened or clicked an email at least once in the last 7 days, do not send them a text message. They made the assumption that if someone is engaging with email content, why waste a text on them? Brilliant. They were actually able to reduce their SMS spend by 38% while still increasing revenue by almost 10%, netting out to an ROI of 50%, which was phenomenal. They absolutely loved it. I have also taken that and have shared it with many other brands because it is such a smart suggestion. If someone is using email and engaging with email, continue to market to them through email. If someone is engaging with SMS, follow up with them via SMS. And if you can, and something that I highly recommend, ask them. Ask your subscribers either in a sign up form, a preferences page, whatever you would like. Ask them, do you want us to send you an email or do you want us to send you a text message? The other reason why leveraging SMS and email together is attribution. I've spoken to hundreds of brands that have told me they're using two different solutions and they don't know which one is actually driving those sales. Even if you're using separate reporting tools like Google Analytics or Tableau or anything like that, it's still difficult. Imagine if you're using another solution for SMS versus email. You send a text message through that platform, someone clicks on it and doesn't buy, and then you send an email out and they click on it and purchase. That SMS solution will take credit for that sale, and then you're going to say, wow, that's working. Let me further invest in that channel. However, we know that it was actually the email that drove that sale. So through Klaviyo, we have what's called the last click attribution. So if someone has engaged with that channel last, we'll count it towards that. And that's something that I think is so important and why SMS and email together is so valuable, because I'm not going to tell you again that SMS is the channel you should use or email is. Let your subscribers give you that answer and then follow through on that path and invest more in those right channels. And when you have email and SMS together, it allows you to create a better compliance experience. You can ask your subscribers, you can get consent for email and SMS together, and then you can communicate to your subscribers in the right way. So how do we think about email and SMS together? I've talked about this a little bit, but it's absolutely knowing the right channel. When your subscribers are simply coming to your website and signing up, let them pick how they want to be communicated with. Using email and SMS, what you want to be able to do is send the right content through the right channel. So again, if I have a welcome message, for example, if I've given you my phone number and email, I want to hear from you on my phone first. It's just force of habit. I want to get a text message first. For those back in stock messages that I mentioned, I want to get that to my phone because I want to act on that really quickly. However, if you're sending me an email about a promotion that you might be running in a couple of weeks, or you're sending me content around Valentine's Day that's coming up, that can come by email because I want to save that. If there are instructions, definitely don't send those to my phone because I'm probably going to forget about it, but send it to my email so I can save it. I might even print it out. And it allows for improved efficiency. By bringing those attribution models together, not only will you have accurate reporting on which channel is performing better for you, you can also test this. This is something that I think is so cool to do. Klaviyo is really big on testing. I know the Overdose team is huge on this as well, A/B testing. If you have email and SMS together under one platform, you can test which channel is driving better results for you and then further focus on that. For example, if you have an abandoned cart flow, journey, automation, whatever you want to call it, if you can in your solution, split it out. So 50% of people that have given you SMS consent will get a text message and 50% will get an email. See which cohort converts at a higher rate and then focus the entire journey down that path. That's what's so cool about having email and SMS together. So that absolutely leads me into the multi-channel flows that I'm talking about. Abandoned cart is huge. Driving loyalty is really important. Another flow, automation, journey, whatever you want to call it, whatever solution you're leveraging. In Klaviyo, we call them flows. Some of the different tips and tricks that I like to recommend, reviews. It's phenomenal to leverage email and SMS together. Send out an email to individuals 2 weeks after the order is fulfilled. And if they don't leave a review, if they've given you SMS consent, send them a text message. See if they have any questions. Make sure that they got it and know how to, if it's a product that they use, know how to use it. If it's a piece of clothing, that it fits right. But you can use email and SMS together. If you're leveraging a automation, or again, flow as we call it, for browse abandonment, this is one that I like to recommend. If you're selling a high ticket item, I would absolutely be asking for SMS consent, because I know for a fact, like if I'm buying a piece of furniture, or I have friends who run marketing for jewelry companies, they're leveraging SMS and email together, where if someone comes back to their website once, they're going to shoot them an email to say, hey, do you have any, like, do you have any questions on what you're seeing? But if someone comes back 5 times in the last 7 days and looks at that same engagement ring, they're going to send them a text message to say, hey, do you have any questions? Do you want to talk to a specialist? Because that's a big purchase. They may want to feel connected to that brand. They may have questions on size, color, shape, all those different things. And SMS can allow you to have that conversation in a meaningful way. Timely or transactional messages, absolutely. Email and SMS works phenomenal here. I like to say for the content that I want immediately, SMS is really valuable, whereas email works really well for those that I can sit there and I don't need to jump on it. An example of this for transactional messages, when I place an order, I would love to get the shipping information to my phone so I can check it out. Package deliveries are the new Christmas, where I can just follow and, waiting for those gifts to come. But the receipt, I don't need the receipt to my phone. I can take that in an email and I can save it or hide it, because I don't want to know how much I'm spending. So that's where email and SMS really work well together. If you have special offers, I've seen this too many times, brands are replicating coupons, discounts, offers that they have, and sending it through email and SMS as different coupons. And these subscribers are trying to use both. And if they get 2 different ones, they're going to use the one that's greater. It's just a bad look. So when you can leverage a system where both of those channels are together, you're going to connect with your subscribers and get them the information they're looking for in a better manner. And then conversations. Depending on where you are in the world, being able to converse with your subscribers through SMS marketing will allow you to drive greater brand loyalty. So just a couple organizations that I like to highlight. Shoe Sensation, they moved off of another platform to Klaviyo. They saw their list grow by almost 50% after moving to Klaviyo, and their year-over-year revenue grew by 116%. Some of the things that they shared with us, they just did not like the disjointed communication channels. Their subscribers, they actually had subscribers telling them that they didn't like getting the same content through SMS and email. So they decided to leverage Klaviyo for both. It allowed them to optimize email and SMS together, and more importantly, build a precise attribution model, which allowed them to further invest in the email channel. So they saw that SMS was working, but email was working better, so they could invest in that more. It absolutely allowed them to improve personalization, which led to more loyalty and more repeat purchasers. And they sent fewer messages. That's the crazy thing when I'm talking to brands. If you're leveraging email and SMS together, you're going to find out that you're going to send fewer messages because you're sending more targeted content. Dagny Dover, they've seen an incredible ROI, 12,000x ROI on Klaviyo email and SMS together. They grew their list to about 170,000 subscribers in less than 1 year. It's phenomenal the way that they were able to leverage this. And something that I mentioned early on was brands are concerned about how to get started. This brand actually just leveraged the pre-built flows that Klaviyo offers to help them get launched. Another thing that's really cool is if you have a system that can combine email and SMS together, if you're running email automations today, you can very simply just add SMS to that existing flow, and you can build it out where if someone is engaging with email content, send them the emails. If someone's engaging with SMS content, send them the SMS messages. So that's what's really cool about this brand and how they were able to leverage that. And I want to leave you with just highlighting again Klaviyo. I've tried to stay away from talking about it too much, but there are 8,000 brands leveraging Klaviyo for email and SMS today. Our goal is to help you collect subscribers in a meaningful way, iterate on, and really make sure that you're leveraging these two channels by A/B testing, split testing, and you can benchmark your performance and then scale. You can get this set up really quickly and see success with the platform. Things to remember as we wrap up: brands absolutely need to own their own data and their relationships. That's something that is vital. If there's one thing I can leave you with, that's it. You want to be able to control this because you don't want other third-party platforms to control that. Shoppers are in control, and if they're not, they want to be, of how your brand is interacting with them. In email and SMS, you should never think about them as the same content. They play different roles, but work great together. And attribution and compliance is absolutely easier through a single system. That's what I wanted to talk through today. Thank you very much. We'll go to any questions that are there.
Thank you so much, Navin. That has been really insightful. I've got a few questions that have come through. What are some of the first things to do to get started with SMS?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very common question. I think the first thing is to make sure that your brand is ready to get started. What I mean by that is you're setting up ways to start collecting SMS consent and you have a welcome flow. Too many brands make the mistake of saying, I'm going to start to build a list, and then once I have a healthy list, I'm going to start marketing to it. That's the wrong way, because when people sign up for SMS, they want to be able to hear from you right away. So if you don't have a welcome flow or a welcome message, at least, they're not going to know. And then I've signed up for more than my fair share of brands. If I sign up and give my phone number and then get what's clearly a broadcast message 2 weeks later, I'm going to unsubscribe pretty quickly.
What are some of the common mistakes that brands make when using SMS?
Yeah, I think it's a funny question. One of the most common mistakes is oversending through SMS. You got someone's phone number, you're very excited to market to them through SMS. So you're going to send every single campaign that you have that you were sending through email through SMS. People are immediately going to unsubscribe. My phone is like very private to me. I don't want it buzzing if it's not relevant content to me. So you want to leverage email and SMS together and use SMS strategically. Only send content that's really important for me to look at right away.
And as a final question, which brands should be using SMS? Is there, I guess, essentially an industry that really should be honing in on this, or is it open for everyone?
Personally, I think SMS can work for everyone. I don't think that there's a single brand in the world that shouldn't at least offer SMS for their subscribers. There are certain industries that I think SMS can work really well. It definitely helps with consumable good products, so cosmetics, supplements, things like that. Because, for the vitamins that I have, if I'm running out, I would love for my brand to send me a text message that says, like in a replenishment flow, hey, you haven't bought and your supply typically runs out after 30 days. Make sure you buy again. This happened to me. I forgot to buy my dog's food and I immediately was freaking out. I really wish that they're like, hey, Coco's food usually lasts 45 days. It's 30 days and you haven't bought again. Make sure you buy. So I think the consumable good products absolutely is an industry that should be leveraging SMS, but really any brand can leverage it and see success.
Nice, great. Thank you so much, Navin, for coming and being a part of our summit today. You obviously shared a lot of valuable information with our audience.